Now we're going to serve again. So serving is a little bit more, takes a little bit more brain power, right? Because you've really got to place that serve not only with good spin, but maybe the speed has to be enough to really create a cage situation, right? So that you don't get a strong return, right? If you get a strong return, it's probably going to force you to hit a backhand. But don't panic, you can still get the winning point.
Right.
So we can still trade points there if I happen to get the SIRI point and you win the point. So let's do the where you're serving. That's a great get. Oh, sit down. Oh, you got around.
Oh, and the last one?
Yeah, the last one I didn't get a SIRI point, yeah?
No.
Crap! Man, Sydney. Okay, I'm gonna step it up. What did you discover about your service game there that maybe was a little bit different than the way maybe you've always thought about your serve game?
Yeah, after I finished my serve, I stepped into my backhand corner because I knew I could cover my forehand better, which gave me a bigger chance. I had so much more of the court where I could hit a forehand.
So your reset, you were more conscientious of your resetting to the S1.
Yes.
That's a huge thing, I think, because a lot of times we practice only our serve because we're trying to groove. And that's fine. We're trying to groove our kick and our flat and slice, right?
Right.
But it's really important to practice the idea of resetting after your serve so you can play the S1 effectively, even if you have to play a backhand. But forehand is a bonus in this game because you get a point for it.
Right.
What else comes to your mind when you think about your serve game? What you've realized there?
I definitely use my topspin serve, kick serve out wide more often.
Okay.
I only threw.
You mean to the ad court?
To the ad and.
Oh, into the deuce. So you moved it more into the inside run or tee. Okay.
But like So it went into your body.
More curving into
Yeah.
my body. Got it. And trying to cage me there.
Right.
So what do you think about putting a game like the SIRI game challenge or game in your practice? What do you think you can learn from this game that you probably couldn't learn maybe from just playing points?
You definitely have to think about how you're going to construct your points more. Not just playing out the point. You're actually thinking where you're going to place the ball, where the next ball is coming. Kind of thinking through like what I'm going to do to make you do what I want you to.
Interesting. Okay. Right. And that's, to me, that's what the game is designed to do. Is to put you in a mindset where you're now thinking about shots in sequence and they're related to one another, right? The shot you hit, it has a relationship to the shot I hit and vice versa. Where I place my shot is going to determine what you can do at that point. And so I say to all my players, you need two things to win in this game. You need to execute your shots, right? Technically, your shot selection, choosing the right shot at the right time. Your movement is big, how you move to the ball, how you receive the ball, right? So that's one thing. And then the second thing is you need to problem solve. Learn how to problem solve. And if you can put those two together and they can sync together in one match, then you have a really good chance of winning. Sometimes we're really good in our execution of our shots, but we don't really have a strategy and we don't have the tactics to help us fulfill our strategy, right? Or implement our strategy. And then sometimes we're good with strategy, but we're just not making the shots. But both of those are going to lend itself to discovery, right? Let's say you're executing. So I feel like you were executing your strategy well. What did happen to your technical part of your game?
I just fell into place.
Yeah, it looked like your movement was better. You were more intense. You were more precise with your movement. Like you said, you reset it over into your backhand, the backhand or ad center side of the court to look for that forehand. You seem to extend through your shots if you wanted to place it deep. If you wanted to maybe hit a zone of truth or sharp angle, you sort of rolled that ball with a little bit more extra spin. You defended well out of the corner. You didn't really think too much technically because you were more concerned in, okay, let's make that shot. And you probably were thinking, I don't want it to go to this forehand, right? Because that's the mode you're in, right? I mean, it's almost like you start out in that mode and it kind of continues through the point. You know, I always say that it's more difficult to begin the point than to flow in the point. Because once the flow starts going, it's like being in a river and you just lay on your back or in the tube and you just go.
Right.
But getting in the river is sometimes more of a challenge, right? Getting into a point, to me, seems more of a bigger challenge, okay? And that's the part of the game we need to practice more for that reason, is because it is a challenge. To focus, points over, refocus. So coaches, if this game, the SIRI game, is one of my favorite games that I've created because it helps a player discover these types of things that you as a coach want to instill into your player. You want them to make better decisions on the court in their shot selection. Many times we want to say things to our players and convey it in a verbal way. Maybe we want to break it down a little bit too much and trying to get across the message to our player that they need to make these better decisions. But games like the SIRI game are going to put them in that situation already, and they're going to discover it more on their own, and that's going to help them own their game faster. They're going to be able to make better decisions without you having to constantly repeat yourself or put them through maybe a closed drill to try to drill home the fact that they need to make better choices. So hope you like the game. Go out, and it can work with any level player, however you choose to play that player, whether you want to play them a little bit more conservatively so they can have more success at it, or you can just go at them, the player, if they're more advanced, you can play it a little bit and then challenge them beyond what they're capable. That just pushes them more to find more SIRI forehands for points.